Okay, I think I'm streaming. Wow, sorry. It's a little early and my throat is still catching up. Hello, welcome. Ooh, it's Silksong Steel Soul Part 5. Now with splits, probably, that I set up amateurishly. Hello, yeah, if you're new to the series here, uh, I'm just running through Hollow Knight Silksong, trying to do Steel Soul mode. Means that if you die, you can't respawn. um, and eventually trying to hit 100%. Now, for now, and for this one, we're mostly going to be trying to hit any percent. And then once we have any percent hit, then we're going to try to kind of speed run our way to Act 3. I haven't quite figured out how to do that yet. We'll chat about it. And then see if we can finish off all the major threats in the game. Um, I thought I would do something a little different this time. We have a save file here that is where we stopped last time. It's Cogwork Core. We just beat Cogwork Dancers, I believe, and so we would be moving on to Trobio. It took us an hour and 11 minutes, as you can see. But I was a bit curious. I wanted to play around with doing some like live splits, and so I might just go ahead and start a new game here. I have some live splits here in the corner. I might adjust them. I don't really know how it's going to look on a full monitor. I don't know if that's like clear to see. I tried doing a little bit of visual playing around with. I'll just have to see how it really looks in full process here. But I just went ahead and highlighted some of the major enemies and like power-ups that you get between now and the Grandmother Silk fight. Um, and I'm going to see if we can make our way all the way to the top. Now, I did do some practice runs, not with the splits, but just trying to do like because what I'll do this time is a very minimalist run. Like before we were, trying to buy mass fragments and maybe getting the ant mask and, at least picking up some tools, doing the loading mini game, like trying to get things along the way. And I've done some practicing where that is not the case, where we speed all the way to the top as fast as possible, stopping for basically nothing and no one, except for, the needle upgrades, the two needle upgrades, the one you get right after Widow and the one you get at Whispering Vaults. And I have been practicing stopping for Quick Bind as well. And part of the reason is just because, I think the Quick Binder is really helpful. Part of the reason is that, so far, I have not actually beaten High Halls doing that. The High Hall Gauntlet is particularly brutal. I think we're going to try this time. Go ahead and get that second upgrade and get the Quick Binder. That's what I've put in my splits. And then give it another shot here. I did make it all the way to... in the one attempt that I did do the second needle upgrade, I made it all the way to the last segment of it, where you have two of the Stomper guys. I don't know if we're going to beat that, especially without tools, because this basically doesn't pick up any tools. And realistically, trying to fight it that way is unnecessary. I am just likely to die. But I do think it would be fun. I'm trying to keep this fun for me. And so I think I'm going to do it that way. In the future, we might look at grabbing some other easy things as well, but I do kind of want to shorten the time that it takes us to get to Act 3, so that when we die, especially if we die at the beginning of Act 3, which is going to be super, super tough, and I expect us to die there a couple times, we can kind of minimize the time loss. So yeah, that's kind of the plan for the day. I think I'm going to do some of these splits and kind of get not pressure myself to rush, right, but at least be I am comfortable. We're going to do a fast route, but I'm comfortable taking the time. The splits for today are mostly just going to be, let's take a general idea about how long these things take me. And yeah, we'll keep talking about it, but I'm gonna run into a new file here. We have our old file, of course, but I think I'm going to start from the front so we can get some of these split times. I also don't really know how to use the split timer that well. So there might be mistakes with it. Hopefully I do not accidentally cut away the time that we have recorded before. But, bear with me. Gonna do our best with it. And I think it'll be fun, even if like, I mean, this is not going on speedrun.com, so I don't really care if the timer is not super accurate. I'm gonna start it when we go ahead and hit bind for the initial needle grab. I think that's where they do it in the speedrun. It's been a hot minute since I've seen a speedrun for this game, so I could be wrong about that, but I think that is the case. Hoo-wee. Also, time of recording here. Well, I guess this is live, so you know the time of recording. We are in kind of late March here. I was kind of hoping that I could do this run before Sea of Stars came out, and I don't think that's going to happen anymore, admittedly. So if that does happen, like, I might... I mean, obviously I'm going to play Sea of Stars DLC at some point, but I'm, like, debating if I just try to play it without the DLC until I can get the 100% steel, and then do the Sea of Stars DLC, because that would be awesome. So yeah, you'll notice there is even like a mossberry up there that we had been getting. We're going to skip it. We're basically going to skip everything we can in the realm of just moving as fast as we can to Grandmother Silk. I think it was, what is it, like a Jacob Geller quote that's like, Hornet can move through the Citadel like the speed of a bullet. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. Obviously, that means we're going to have to go back and use Act 3 requirements after we beat Grandmother Silk. Because there are a lot, actually. But this does offer some advantages. Which is that we have access to like the needle upgrades and like a lot of the easy mask and spool upgrades that we can get just by traveling around. Like if we make it to the end of Act 2, we can kind of go anywhere and do anything. That obviously does not include the double jump, so we would have to still get that first. But outside of the double jump, we would be able to do just about anything, as well as farm rosaries really easily, using that like top row of fighters at the very top of the Citadel that I'll show off later. So, if we do make it to the end of Act 2 without getting anything, like at the very least our shops are going to be a lot easier to buy from. That means we don't have to worry about rosaries throughout the whole game, which, you know, getting rosaries isn't really making progress. So that's like a big step we have to cut out. And I don't know, I think also just like having all of the Act 2, I mean there are still Act 2 threats that are main story. In fact, there's quite a bit of Act 2 threats that are not main story. But we have the ability to go fight them completely whenever we want at that point, because we'll have beaten all the content that does require us to operate on its given order, I suppose. Like, I feel like once I beat Grandmother Silk, not that Grandmother Silk is hard, but really that High Halls and Lace 2 are hard, at least for me. High Halls especially. I feel like once we get past that point, I will be to the point where I feel like kind of nothing can stop me. Obviously, from there, we're going to focus on getting, like, my health up and probably going to, like, the ant area, maybe start getting some of the crests, too. That's just to make sure that we have enough buffer as I go into some of the other fights. Like, there's a lot of fights that I would not want to go into without buffer. Like, I don't want to go into Grohl without Purified Wreath. I don't want to go into, you know, Beastfly 2 without the Magma Lantern and a few extra hearts. Like, there is buffer that we're going to have to get eventually. And I think, arguably, like, we could make it to Act 2 and go to the very top and start unlocking pathways and then be like, oh, let's go on a big mask-getting spree. And I think that would be fine. But I just kind of want to make it fun for me. Oh, we beat Moss Mother. Shoot. Well, that was a slow Moss Mother. Whoops, I forgot about the splits. I forgot I had a split for that, because that is not a... Like, I have major bosses. I guess that is a boss. I guess I'm only fighting major bosses. But I kind of forgot I did have a split for that. So, you know what? Our Silk Spear is going to look really good, though. But I actually did not delay it by that much. I mean, we didn't beat her. We just watched an extra. I just walked an extra 2 feet and saw an extra cutscene. So we're not far behind the split. Ooh. Now, you might see that the very bottom split, and this is something that I probably need to do some more thinking about. The very bottom split is like major threats defeated or major threats finished. And that's because originally I wanted to start mapping out some of the Act 3 content, especially the ones I was worried about, which was the Void Gauntlet at the very beginning, and then the Bell Eater afterwards. I think the Bell Eater is a really hard boss fight and one I haven't played a ton. I've only beaten it like twice. And so it is one that I'm like really, really nervous about. It's probably, I mean, the Void Gauntlet's probably the hardest. Or, I mean, the High Halls is a harder gauntlet, but the Void Gauntlet starts you off with so weak that like the Void Gauntlet probably is a harder fight. And the Bell Eater is probably a little easier than that, but the Bell Eater might be the second hardest fight that I'm worried about. So I say all that to say, like, I wanted to put this on the speedrun clock because I am interested in trying to rush those fights as fast as possible. But in order to do those, I still have to make it to Act 3, which means that there's actually a lot of like other requirements before I fight them. And I was mostly interested in tracking my ascent to Grandmother Silk. So I do have, you know, major threats defeated. And right now I have not really figured out what that's going to mean for, you know, us riding the splits. If we make it to the far enough to where that actually becomes a problem, and I'm like, oh, you know, I want to finalize my splits, but I have this extra split that I'm not going to get to for a couple hours because it's in Act 3. I mean, if we're to the point where I'm worrying about that, it's been a successful day. So I'm not too worried at the moment. But yeah, my splits are, you know, not the way that they should be in final right now. Other than that, though, yeah, we just have some of the major power-ups and bosses. So, Silk Spear and Belbeast are the two coming up, and then from there it's just like getting Dash, fighting Lace, getting the Cloak, fighting the fourth chorus, doing the Craw Gauntlet. Because we are gonna go once we're in Morrowind, we're gonna go straight to the Craw Gauntlet, so I can get that Morrowind Bell, or Greymore Bell. Because we have not done that before, actually. You'll see most of the time I am going to Greymore and then going to halfway home and just keep continuing to go left. And that's just because, like, I usually try to get the... Oh, sorry. I'm trying not to even farm rosaries on these guys. Most of the time, I am interested in fighting the Craw Gauntlet when I have... Here, let me at least open some of these passageways. Fighting the Craw Gauntlet once I have... the quest to beat a bunch of Craws. You kind of kill two birds with one stone, but I'm ching. But I'm just gonna come back and kill the Craws later because this is a minimal percent. So we're not gonna worry about that. A couple other things to note. Even though this is minimal percent, I am still going to be like fighting Sister Splinter. I know there is a skip to her. I don't know it very well, and honestly, I do just like the fight. I know that if I did not fight her, I could just like theoretically, at least it's my understanding, I could never fight her. You never need to if you do the skip. But I like this game, and I like the fights, and I like the Sister Splinter fight, so I'm going to. Especially because in order for me to avoid it, I'd have to like learn the skip, and why would I learn the skip if I just like the content that I'm skipping? So I'm gonna do it. Right? It's just that simple. Folks, play games for fun. It still boggles the mind that this is the first real boss of the game, and it does like 2 hearts on every attack. Like, not hard nowadays, but boy howdy was this... I would go so far as to say unfair back in the day. And by back in the day, I mean the first time I played it, not that it got nerfed. Although it might have gotten nerfed. I know a lot of bosses did get nerfed, so. Nowadays, of course, like, this boss is kind of a pushover. There's a lot of things you can do to counteract it, like, just hitting the bells out of the way is something I didn't know that you could do the first time you played it, and not something that you would really try the first time you played it. But it makes it to where that middle phase attack is like kind of trivial, which is crazy. Not to mention, like, there is like a inherent timing to it that I do know now, that I don't want to discount, but I know that, and that's also what makes it easier. But it's like, this is kind of a brutal boss to throw at you as your first boss, aside from the tutorial boss. It's kind of insane. But yeah, there we go. Oh, split. Oh, split 2. Shoot! Well, whatever. One of these days I'll remember to do it. It's okay, we're new at the splits. Okay, next split is dash. Chat that doesn't exist. Don't let me forget. I'm also realizing that at least on my screen, my split timer is right in front of the chat. So like, if I did get a chatter, I don't know if I would know. Like, I think I actually have my split timer on my other monitor. You know, let me fix that like right now. Let me fix that right now. Okay, cool. I can see the chat now if we do have a chat. We don't, of course, but if we did. Alright, 10-minute Belbies, 10-minute Belbies. I don't know if that's good or not. It felt pretty good, though. I mean, I got distracted some, but overall it felt okay. Plus, I mean, these are the first metrics, so, you know, they're going to be cleaned up as time goes on. I do really wish, though, I think this is a hot take. Not that hot, but I do really wish, though, that you could start the game with dash in a New Game Plus. Like, there was some New Game Plus mode. You don't even have to give me... Don't even have to give me Silk Spear. Don't even have to give me the Silk Heart. You don't even have... You could even say, if you don't pick up dash, you will explode. And that's fine, because I just want to not be slow at the beginning of the game. But I am. And it's very frustrating. It's probably why they have kept the Silk Pogoing in. Or Silk Pogo being faster than running in. Now you may notice that I've taken a lot of damage. And might be dumb. And to that, I can only say, you're right. Ideally, I will heal off of somebody soon. Oh, this sucks, because if I fall in lava, I will die. Okay, wow. Okay. That would have been embarrassing had I died there. Not that it's embarrassing to die in this place in general, it's just with how many times I've played this game, it would have been embarrassing. Alright. One of the fun things about this is we aren't, like, the deep docks feel so much smaller now because we aren't going to, like, we are still going to get dash here, but we aren't going to go into the, like, Forge Sister area at all. Okay, I can just... Not me forgetting the exact, pathing. It's been a hot minute since I played this game now. I mean, by a hot minute, I mean like half a week. It's not been that long at all. It's just for a while I was on the grind, you know? I was playing this game every day. I was getting better at it every day. And then, you know, you have life. You know, isn't that cringe to have a life? But sadly, I do. It's also why I will not be able to just grind this all day, as much as like I'd kind of like to, is because I have stuff to do. I've got Yu-Gi-Oh locals to go play. I have board game plans to play with people. I've got to clean my mess of an apartment. But for now, I have to get dash. Because that's what makes this game fun. I mean, it truly does feel like playing this game without dash is like... I feel like I'm a caveman without my smart... Like, I've been transported to the past without my smartphone. I'm like, how am I supposed to live? The other thing that I need to do is use Silk Spear more. So you'll notice both those ants that are just sitting there in a row, you know, that's prime Silk Spear material, and that's going to save us some time. Oh, I was really hoping I could hit them both. Eight. Okay. I still have to get dash before I do the next split. 5-minute split, man, that's rough. That's rough, buddy. I don't actually think it's rough, but it feels bad after I did so many milestones in the first 10 minutes. I mean, I guess I did 3 milestones in the first 10 minutes, and now I'm doing 1 and 5. It's actually not bad, but for whatever reason, it feels bad. Alright, here it comes. I should have waited for it to actually say Swift Step. Oh well. I'm also realizing that, like, it's supposed to show you some of the future splits as well. So the hope was that, like, when I completed some, like, I was thinking it was just showing the first couple splits because I hadn't done any yet. I was kind of thinking as I went through them, it was only going to show, like, so many of the previous ones. And it would, like, show some forward to what we're going to do. Maybe it still will after the lace fight, but I'm, like, a little worried it's not going to now. Like, it's only going to show, like, the current split. Perhaps I should have played around with more of the settings. If it doesn't, I'm not going to play around with them now. But you just have to wait for next time when I have it finished. Fun fact that I did learn, by the way, in my last one, is silk spearing. I'm sure many people already know this, but silk spearing someone puts them immediately out of that stun state, which was news to me. Oh my goodness, I just ran into a stunned lace and took damage. Alright, jump away, jump away, jump away, jump away. Woo! Alright, 17 lace. That's the tough part about having speedrun metrics now, is I want to look at them all the time. I want to judge myself. I don't even have a comparison point yet. I'm sure many speedrunners probably have emotional coping mechanisms to not constantly be judging themselves, but I don't yet. So I'll have to work on it. There are a lot of nice things about doing this, like minimal percent. Not having to worry about rosaries makes that room and this room. I mean, really, this room I've just gotten better at. That previous room I've gotten better at, but the ant room, way easier because I'm not trying to actually fight the ants, and they're way easier to avoid than I realized. To the point that, like, even when I am thinking about, you know, doing percentages, I'm like, maybe I should just avoid them. The ants are, like, tough. Maybe they're more trouble than they're worth in general. That's not for me to think about now. Okay, I am looking at the splits now. I do see that fourth chorus showed up. Like, it is starting to move things now, which is good. I might have to see if there's, like, a setting to show. Because I'd love it if we just showed like 2 previous splits and then like the 4 future ones, so that y'all can know what's coming up if you don't know the game already. Cause I don't really care that much about getting a PB. Like, I mostly just have it here for my own curiosity's sake. Like, the actual that was bad. The actual, like, I know that live split is for speedrunning, but I'm here mostly using it for curiosity. Like, I don't really care to see how much improvement I have between the segments. Like, I care a little bit. It'll be fine. But I don't need you. Like, the focus should be on the future, on the plan, on the goal. Oh, whoops. There's also, like, a world where to speedrun this part, I actually count the number of spines that I get. That way I know when I can do, like, a 3rd round on this guy and kill him. But you know, that day is not today because I'm lazy. For now, I will simply take 2 2 rows at a time. Ah! There we go. I say there we go as we finished, but really I just finished the thought. Okay. Okay, well that's, you know what, that's enough Silksong talk for now. What else is going on? Going on in the brain? Speaking of it being late March and April being around the corner, Pokemon Champions theoretically coming out. That's really exciting. I was blessed with the ability to get a Switch 2, which I was very excited about. I don't have any kind of capture card, so unfortunately don't expect any content for it. But I'm really excited for Champions coming out. The VGC is something that I've been watching for a while, and I've never really gotten into it on Showdown. I don't know why. Like, I feel like I'm not a big graphics guy, but somehow, like, actually seeing the Pokemon in graphics, like, playing something like Battle Revolution is infinitely more appealing to me than playing on, like, Pokemon Showdown. And I wish it wasn't the case, but it is. And so I've never really gotten into, like, VGC before. Theoretically, I would love to get into, like, Draft League as well, but I'm also kind of bad at reaching out to strangers on the internet, and from the research I did, that's how you join a draft league. So, unfortunately, I also was not part of a Pokemon draft league. Oh, Drifter's Cloak. But with Pokemon Champions, I feel like the time is finally here for me to actually get into playing Pokemon BGC. And there are a few caveats. I don't really play. I did not play Scarlet Violet. I did. Scarlet and Violet came out, and I had a bunch of friends who were like, "Wow, this game, like, it looks like crap, but it's really fun." And I was like, and I held off on getting it. I actually am a freak who really likes Pokemon Sword and Shield. Sword and Shield is a bad game. I will not pretend it's not a bad game. But Sword and Shield is a bad game that, like, tries to do some cool things. And it's cool things that I really appreciate and really like. So I like Sword and Shield. But I was like, I know that this Pokemon game, you know, this looks really bad. I also don't, like, weirdly, it does, like, bother me that the main character is Scarlet Violet, like, literally looks like they're 7 years old. I feel like that shouldn't be an issue, but it is for me. So I was like, I'm not going to play this game until, like, I get trusted sources that say that it's good. And then I had trusted sources that said it was good, and so I got it, and I was really excited for it. Especially because I never even played the DLC for Sword and Shield, because I tried and did not like it. And so I was really excited to play some Scarlet Violet, because it was actually good. And then I picked up the game and I played it for like 5 hours, and I was like, this is terrible. Like, this is unplayable. And so I stopped. And so that's another thing that another reason I couldn't do any VGC for a while, is because I didn't play any of the games. So obviously I didn't have any of the Pokemon. I didn't play Legends Arceus either. So, like, you know, how was I ever going to get an Urshifu or a Koraidon or a Fluttermane or like any of the good Pokemon? Because a lot of them I think were DLC, maybe not legendaries, but like DLC Pokemon. And so I was like, I don't really want to spend money to get these Pokemon, and I don't really want to play Scarlet and Violet or Legends Arceus, really. I mean, I've also heard Legends Arceus is really good, but like actually really good. And I'm inclined to believe it. I don't know. I'm not that big of a fan of open world Pokemon personally. But all this is to say, could not get into VGC because I could not have Pokemon. And now I'm a little worried that Pokemon Champions, you know, you can import your Pokemon, but you can also get Pokemon in Champions. And I've heard that getting Pokemon in Champions might even use a gacha system. And you know, I'm not against gacha games. I play Genshin Impact. That might be the major game that I play the most of. So, like, clearly I'm not against gacha. Fourth course. Act 1, first half. Oh, I did finish that as well. Wow, I'm really bad at doing the splits. We'll keep trying our best. But yeah, basically, like, I really hope that I can actually play Champions without having played the other games, because I would love to get into Champions from a more competitive angle, and I'm willing to spend money on Champions. Like, Champions is a free game, but I was, like, ready to buy it when it was, like, a full-priced game. Like, I would be very excited in purchasing, Battle Revolution 2, basically. Um, and so I know they have, like, some starter kits, but, like, I don't want this to become... Like for Genshin Impact, for example, I'm willing to spend $5 a month on Genshin Impact because I play that game way more than $5 a month. I'm happy to spend a subscription service and get some gems for it, and it's a lot of fun. And I don't feel like I need more than that. But I worry that if Pokemon Champions does become like more gacha game incentive, like I'm happy to buy a battle pass and I'm happy to buy a starter kit and all these things. But if it becomes like a continual money sink, like I won't be able to enjoy it. Like if it's like, oh, you have to pay $30 a season to have the newest teams. I mean, if it's $30 a season to have the newest teams, but you can like Pokemon is not really one that like has a rotating meta. Like it does. It has regulations. Oh my gosh. I was not paying attention to how much, I was not paying attention to how much health I had. But I was also not paying attention to, oh wait, that's undoing. Sure. Let's not update our best times, because we did not really do our best times. Or I didn't record all of them correctly. Wow, that was crazy. I did not realize I had 2 health. And I also did not realize, I was away from the attack, and as he hit the wall, he like moved away from the wall, and so he kind of moved into range. I've never seen that before. Um, that's kind of insane. All right, I'm gonna blow my nose real quick. One second. All right, I return. Yeah, that was crazy. Whoops. I guess we saw time loss there. I should have looked at it, but it looks like we lost 25 minutes, which, all things considering, not terrible. Could have been a lot worse. Still a little disappointing. I mean, the craw fight is one of the harder things that we're doing because we're doing it in this order. Because we're doing min percent. But it's probably the hardest part of Act 1 at this point. But I don't know, I'm still disappointed to die there. Anyways, that's not gonna stop me from chatting. Anyways, Pokemon Champions. Basically, I'm worried. I hope it will be good. I really want it to be good. I really just like Pokemon Battle Revolution was so much fun as a kid, and I still have fun with it as an adult. Like, as an adult going back and playing the game, I'm like, okay, I wish this had more hard content. Like, there are parts of it that I still really love as an adult. But it does feel like it's one of those games that has content that is like crazy hard and content that is like fairly easy and not much in between. Like the fact that like one of those Fortress Coliseums is like, is a normal challenge before on normal difficulty, which is like, difficulty for babies. And I shouldn't say difficulty for babies because I'm bad at Pokemon, but like as someone who recognizes I am bad at Pokemon, it's, pretty doable. Even with like the rental teams that you get, not to mention if you're using actual like, I want to say pre-made Pokemon, is that the right term? But then like you come back for the post-game rematch and it's like, yeah, you have to beat 100 battles in a row without losing. And you're like, oh, that's not exactly happening either. And And also, it's not multiplayer. Like, you can't play with other people. And Pokemon Champion's going to be playing with other people. Sounds awesome. So I don't know. Like, I really want to like the game, and I'm really excited for it. But I have seen people pointing out some scary things, and I am scared. Like, I mean, I also say it's coming out in April, but we don't know when. And that, like, kind of is a sign that, like, they also don't know when, which is scary. Like, what if they're rushing it and it's going to be bad? I don't know. It also sounds like they're not going to use it for official championships for a while, which I'm, you know, fine with, but doesn't fill me with confidence about it. So, I don't know. I hope, you know, in my wildest dreams, it is like Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, and it makes them Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel money. But I don't know if that'll be the case. Anyways, that was random thoughts with Michael. Moss Mother. Dang it. I still kind of forgot. Oh well. Alright, I need to get in the habit. Every time I beat a boss or every time I get a power-up. Every one of those. It is also unfortunate that I died so early because I think this game gets, maybe exponentially is a stretch, but it gets significantly more fun the further you get. Because I feel like at the very beginning, like, the very beginning is introductory. And also, it's like, I feel like the main appeal of the beginning is like, yeah, the fights are cool. But I think more so, it's just like, you're going to new areas and everything looks really pretty and you're learning how Hornet works and you're getting tools and learning the game systems and like, that is all awesome. And that's very fun. But that's also all stuff that you only encounter really on like a first playthrough. And so having played this game before, I've played these games before. This is like kind of a slog. Like, I don't have choice of where I go. I go to get the Silk Sphere, and then I go to get the Bell Beast, and then I go to get Dash, and then I go to get Lace, and okay, I guess once you get Dash, like things kind of open up because you can avoid Lace as we've seen. But you're still pretty much like the goal of Act 1 is to get to the Widow fight and beat the Widow fight. Right? And then the world kind of opens up. And I mean, the world opens up before, but like everything you do has to go through the Widow fight, basically. Oh, I don't have Silk Spear yet. I hit the Silk Spear button and I was like, why isn't that happening? Well, that's unfortunate. Boop. Alrighty. But yeah. By the way, when I do play Sea of Sorrows, I hate to say it if you love watching this channel with all your heart and soul, but I probably will do that on my own. I mean, I might then incorporate these runs, because I probably like will want to do Silksong with Sea of Sorrow as well. But for first impressions, I mean, like it does take energy for me to constantly be chatting to the camera, and it is fun. And I do like it. And I like the way that the videos turn out, which is why like I'm very happy to do it. Especially because, you know, if this is an audience for one, aka me, I'm fine with that. And I have a lot of fun hearing myself yap in the past while I'm doing work. Which, you know, perhaps is egotistical, but oh well. It's my mental illness, I can do what I want with it. And then but this is all to say, I think when I do Sea of Sorrows, first of all, I'm going to start with that on normal mode because I'm not a masochist. And second of all, I'm going to do it on my own time, because... Wait, do I... Oh, I don't have Silk Spear yet. I forgot how much of a trek it is to get Silk Spear. I'm not going to do it on camera because I don't want to have to be focusing on chatting to chat, aka future me, while I am doing it. So you'll have to forgive me for that. Your first impression videos must come from somewhere else. Boshanka! Do you think they do multiple writing takes to make the words that are said as catchy as possible? Because Boshanka, like, they really nailed it. Like, that is so fun to say. If that was just like a one and done writing take, like, that isn't absurd. But maybe Team Cherry just isn't that good at it. Dude, I'm so bad. Now, it might seem unintuitive for me to hit that because it's minimum percent, but you know what? You're right and I don't care. Alright. You know, I've never thought trying to go, like, up and to the left and hit those platforms before. I don't think it's possible, but I wonder if it is. Alright. As soon as I see the ability proc, I'm gonna hit it. See, I remembered this time. Nice. 8 minutes. 8 minutes for Silk Spear. But I do remember Belvius is basically just around the corner, so maybe that's not as long as it feels. I want to deal with you. Okay, I do have to deal with some enemies because I'm cringe like that. I'm trying to think. I was gonna chat a little bit about me playing Marvel Rivals and maybe getting back into it because some of my friends are. But then I thought, like, oh, I have a lot of projects that I could talk about. And then I thought about it and I was like, I have a lot of projects, man. I have a lot of things I'm trying to work on. Luckily, I may or may not end up being unemployed in a couple of months because I'm considering moving back to my hometown. Currently in Madison, Wisconsin. By the way, best city ever. If you have the chance to move here, you should. But I moved here for a job. And I was very happy to work that job, but I am also kind of happy to not be working it soon. It was very stressful. And I have had some health complications that, I don't know, like, it's not to the point where stress is killing me, but it's not helping either. And while I've gotten a lot of my health complications much more under control, even without quitting the job, I'm tired of being stressed every day, man. So I'm gonna quit. I was not expecting to talk about this on this chat. Sorry about that. But I'm looking forward to being unemployed for a little bit because while I will be moving during that time, and that will certainly take up a lot of time, my hope is that I also will have some extra time to do some extra stuff. That's probably not going to be videos for this channel, admittedly. That's going to be things like doing my own board game and doing, you know, getting more into the Yu-Gi-Oh scene and, you know, trying to play a bunch of games that I've been waiting to play and, like, trying to do more projects with, like, Claude. Maybe try out, I get so many advertisements for Base 44. Maybe I'll give that a shot. Maybe not, though, because I will not have a paycheck anymore. So actually, probably not, but maybe. I want to try, like, my hand at making music. You did hear me talk about Strudel before, but also, which I have not done yet. But also, I do just want to work on, like, regular music making as well, just for fun. Like, not to actually be good at it. I'm sure I won't be. It'll be my first time, but I don't know. There's a lot of things like that that I feel like I'll get a better appreciation of if I do them, and so I want to do them. And also just making stuff is fun. And then on top of that, there's, like, health things too. Like, I want to get more in charge of making food for myself very intentionally. I want to get more in charge of exercising more regularly, things of that nature. So there's a lot to do, and there's a lot that I like, and I'm very happy about that. I'm very happy to have time to deal with it. But one of those things is Silksonging it up. One thing that I wish I could show on stream, and maybe I'll ask my friends if I can, another one of my, not projects, but like a long time planning event is, I've mentioned a couple times that I play a bunch of Genshin Impact. And I had a friend who did just the coolest thing ever, where he saved up for like half a year, maybe a full year, in order to C6 a character he really liked. And he went on Banner, and we had like a massive wishing stream, and he C6'd a character. C6'd a character. And I think he basically didn't pay any money for it because he had just been saving up for so long. Maybe he did pay like 100 or something for the first top up, which is, you know, it can be a lot, but for how many hours we play in this game, no, arguably maybe not. But one thing I have been working on for the past couple months, I guess since, I want to say since October, so maybe it has been half a year for me, is also saving up for a C6. And I don't know who I'm going to get. You don't have to know any, oh, to be clarified too, C6, for people who don't play these games, just means that like not only do you get the character once, which is, you know, takes some saving but can be fun, but you get them 7 times, and that's because every copy you get of them gives you like an additional effect or ability, and so it's like kind of getting like the super powered version of somebody. Well, I thought that was like a very fun event, and I'm very satisfied with my Genshin account currently. Like, I kind of have everything I need. I don't really need new characters. And there have been characters that I've gotten that I've liked, but then haven't really loved their gameplay. And I've always been disappointed that, like, oh shoot, oh shoot, oh shoot, oh shoot. I've gotten characters before that I've been disappointed with because their gameplay is weak. And I was like, oh, I really like this character, and I spent a lot of time getting them, basically, only for them to be bad. Ooh, sorry. And so basically, I want to, I don't know, like, I don't want to just pull characters just because I like them, but I also don't want to pull characters just because they're good. And so, like, theoretically, I should get a character that kind of falls into both. Because then they'll actually be usable. And the characters I like the most are the characters that I actually play with. And so I'm very excited to do C6 because really any character C6 is going to be good, probably. But I don't know which character it's going to be. It's going to have to be a character that I like and a character that I think is going to be good. Because I definitely don't want to get a C6 for a bad character. But I don't know. The whole point, sorry, I realize I'm talking too much about a game that you did not sign up to hear about. But the whole point is that I might see if I can record it. It's gonna be a big, you know, presentation / event with my friends, and so I might not be able to. But if I can, I will. And I'll upload it, and you can see me C6ing like Sandrone or something. I don't actually know. It remains to be seen when I will sell my stockpile. But I'm going to be ready, and like, the reason I bring it up now is because I need, I think, another month and a half. Like, it's not super close. But like in May-ish, I will have, I'll be statistically likely to get a C6. That is still like without weapon or anything. Like, so hopefully I will get on the luckier end and get the weapon. That's Dash. But you know, there's no guarantees there, so I mean, there's no guarantees I'll even get C6. It would be a very disappointing night if I save up all that money and get C5. But you know, if that happens, it'll still be funny. It'll be a good PSA to the rest of my friends about the dangers of gambling. I have to say, I hate gambling for money, but I love gambling like as a concept in general. It is a lot of fun. I watch so many poker videos. I've never entered a casino and never plan to, but I've watched so many like poker content creators. And like, you know, I love Genshin Impact, but I hate making like $5 bets with my friends. Like, I'm just so miserly that it's like the idea of like doing bets or doing like, you know, like purge the word DraftKings from your minds. Like that is to me like almost evil in its purest sense. And yet gambling in general, I think is super sick. It's just very weird. Like I think it's only, I guess the point I'm trying to make is I think gambling is only fun when it is purely for fun. And if it's for anything other than fun, it's immediately like stressful and high risk and cheating people out of their, you know, hard-earned money. And so I don't know. It's very weird to be like, I hate gambling, but my favorite game is a gambling game. And if I had the option to take out the gambling aspect of it, I would not, because I think it actually adds a lot to the game. But you know what? We can be a little hypocritical as a treat. I guess I'm not really hypocritical because I showed you my morals for it, but you get the idea. Speaking of gambling, I was about to say like, oh, I'm gonna gamble on killing the fourth chorus right here, right now. But then I realized I wasn't actually doing anything except for continuing to run forward in a straight line. I forgot to split for a lace. Whatever, we'll just do it now. I can't focus on so many things at once. I can't talk and play and live split. Like, that's too much. How do people do this? You know, it is really impressive in retrospect. Alright, in fairness, I'm also having a little bit of allergies, so I'm also not on top of my game for that reason either. But boy howdy. I'm just gonna kill these guys. I do not trust myself to continually avoid them. You. Okay. Oh, let's go! I was not sure we were gonna hit that last spine. Oh well. Whoa, how did a spine get over there? I don't really understand how the spines like work physically when they go in the updraft. It does feel like they were just shot off in random directions. Like sometimes they float up and then fall down, which is like kind of what I would normally expect. And then sometimes it feels like they catapult across the world. Also, I am not looking at my screen. I am also realizing I meant to mention it earlier and did not. But if you cannot see what's happening because of the live split counter, please let me know. You know, in the comments so I can fix it for next time. So yeah, I feel like that's a good spot for it. I mean, I could also put it in like the top right or something. That might be better. That might be better actually. That's where on my screen on my right monitor where I'm like showing the stream and showing the counter itself, because the counter only exists on my right monitor. I'm basically seeing the counter on the right twice because I'm seeing the OBS setup and the counter itself. And it covers both the bottom right and top right of the screen. So, Drifter's Cloak. 20-minute cloak. You know, seems pretty good. Seems pretty good. I recall, I feel like we were doing this faster last time. I thought we hit like 20, we were at like 24 or something. Maybe I was 24 for like the first act final half. Oh, I should explain the halves too. I kind of like thinking of it this way. You know, these are not official categories, but I figure I'm not doing an official speedrun, so who cares? I very much think of the first half of Act 1 as all the way up to getting to Greymore. And that's just because, like, all of the far fields, the, like, Moss Grotto, the Bone Bottom, Deep Docks, all of this kind of exists on the same, like, vertical level. And when you break through the floor, you kind of break up onto like a second floor of Act 1, which is you know, Shellwood, Bellheart, and Greymore. So I kind of think of that as the first, like, that's kind of the marker between the first and second half. I don't know. It's kind of an unnecessary distinction, but it kind of helps me goalize, I guess. Like, in the sense that, like, it's easy for me to, like, put milestones in my brain of, like, oh, I did really well this time. I made it to first half of Act 1. And then I try to do something similar with Act 2. With the marker, I think being, like, getting to the top of, like, the Architect's Crest. Because the idea, at least for me, was that the hard part of Act 2 should be the second half, which is High Halls, Lace, GMS. And that's honestly, like, if I split up that way, there's so much more first half Act 2 than second half Act 2. But I feel like difficulty-wise, it is like an even split as a result, because the difficulty of, like, the High Halls and Lace 2 is just so high. Really more High Halls. Like, I found Lace 2 really hard the first time I fought her, and I've only fought her a couple of times. But I do feel like in my reruns, she's been a lot easier than I recalled. So, I don't know. I might come to regret that statement. I'm still going to treat her as if she's a hard boss, because I've died to her before. But I don't know. I think High Halls is the true clincher. Righty. Okay, so after a little delay, I don't know, we're still not quite back where we were. I was gonna be like, oh, we're back where we started, but I don't know. We do have a couple minutes left to go. I'm just looking for another docking point. One thing I was thinking about is when I was starting to set up the stream for OBS with the live split counter, I was looking at like, because the live split has like an introductory video by Winkus, and I was like, whoa, that's like a guy I recognize. And he was walking through like his probably old. I actually have not seen. I don't watch a ton of Twitch, so I haven't seen like Linkus's modern day streams, or really probably any of his streams that aren't just recordings. But he was talking about like his stream setup and how he gets everything to work, and like his live split counter, for example, has like both icons and is like transparent background. And I was like, ooh, fancy. I did not have icons or transparent background, so I was jealous. But on top of that, he also like had his layout set up in such a way that like you can see the live stream counter, and then his like actual gameplay window was like a little smaller than the actual stream window. And then he had like a segment for him, a segment for his like live splits, and then like a segment for like, you know, different subscriber metrics, like who was the last person to give subs and stuff like that. And I thought that would be a lot of fun, but there is a problem. Well, there's two problems. One is that I don't know if there are fancy icons for Silksong, for the different bosses. It would be awesome if there was, but at least to my knowledge right now, I am not aware of them. And on top of that, oh no, it's the guy who killed me last time. On top of that, it does require him to have, like, if I just did the live split, especially because, like, I'm not getting people who are going to, I'm not expecting people to donate subs or to watch the stream in general. And so, like, it doesn't make sense for me to have, like, a last sub or anything like that. And so, really, I feel like to make it work, I have to at least, like, have a face cam showing. But the problem is that I'm ugly. And it's already, like, hard for me to find the mental energy to be like, oh yes, I'm gonna play this game while talking for a couple hours. I don't want to add to it like, oh, I've got to shave and look well presented and make sure that my hair is not a mess. Like, I don't want to do that. And on top of that, even if I did, I know that I at least do not want to look at myself in the mirror while I'm doing this. So I was thinking like, you know, what else could I do? I'm interested in, you know, I watch some VTubers, and I obviously am not a VTuber person, like personality wise. But I could do something like a PNG tuber, which is basically just where you have like a little PNG that moves when you talk. I think that would be a lot of fun. Of course, I don't know if there are free ones in the same way there are free like sample VTuber models. I'm sure there might be, but I think I was thinking if I end up doing this a lot beyond just this project, I might commission one. I don't know how. I have no idea how much art commissions are in general. And I would love to do it in the style of like the little like D&D table troop Genshin Impact portraits. I would love to do one in that style. And I don't even know if that's possible / how much it costs if it were. But that would be like my ideal. But I don't know if I'll do it just for this project. I mean, theoretically, this project will take me a while. Like, this is a hard mission. But I have no idea how long it will take me. Like, this could be the run. You never know. Oh, I did do that, and I did do that. I can keep track of my splits, I promise. Like you never know how long this project's gonna be. Like, this stream could be it. You know, I've got a couple more hours here. I mean, I'm not gonna 100% the game in the 3 hours remaining I have. Heck, I might not even choose to stream for those remaining 3 hours. But I guess my point is, like, I don't know how long I would use it if I did it just for this project. And this is a lot of content. I mean, for someone who just, like, wants to put myself on playing games and chatting about my feelings as background music, like, I don't need a ton of these. Especially if no one else watches them. So, I don't know. We'll see. I think it'd be fun in the future if I do figure out how to do like a draft league to like chat through doing the draft league. And there's like a couple other things like that that I think would be fun to post and do. So I don't want to say it's completely off the table. But like, I also, especially when I'm facing down a period of unemployment, like, I'm not exactly eager to spend money. So, we'll see. But at the same time, like, having, you know, art of a character that represents me is something that I wanted for a long time. But I'm just, like, not even sure how to go about it, you know? I don't even have, like, a character reference. So we'll see. But just something that I thought about. Something that would be fun. And then, like, I could have, like, a little streamer window. Oh my gosh. I'm so bad. Dude, I, like, could actually just straight up die here because of that. Okay, let me lock in for a moment. Alright. That sucks! Okay. I cannot believe that, like, he flies over the Silk Sphere and then I fall into him. Is like, literally could not have been worse. Okay. We're doing a bit better now. See, like, he gets up immediately if you Silk Spear him. Like, I'm sure that's intentional. But it is a little odd to me. Oh, the spinner only did 1 damage. Shoot, I feel like I kind of like knew that was like theoretically maybe the case. I was not certain that was the case. But it's kind of shocking to see it only do 1 damage now. Okay, that's more wing. So I gotta get my water in. Especially if I'm yapping this much with allergies. It is interesting to me that, like, I know you're not supposed to think about it too much, but it's interesting to me that Hornet can't cut down the strings of any individual villager in that segment. Like, she clearly cuts down a lot of strings. Although, I guess arguably, like, she doesn't cut down any of the Widow strings in that other in like the fight with Widow either. So I don't know. Maybe she can't. Maybe the strings on the Songclave bell are like old or something. This would be great if I could go the right way. I am realizing that, like, especially having compared this to some of my test runs, I do play worse while talking, which is not a problem, right? Like, I am playing this to succeed, but I'm not playing this in the hopes that I'm gonna like succeed immediately the first time all the time, right? So it's fine, but I don't know. It's something that is worthwhile for me to think about. I don't know. I might let the Void Gauntlet be be in silence whenever that happens. Please get down here. All right, there we go. Okay. One thing I did learn is I do need to hit the switch over on the right side because we got to come back for Widow. Or, not come back for Widow. We have to... I mean, we do, but we wouldn't use this path. But we would use this path when we were going to go to from Widow to Last Judge. So. Never not get funny to me. Just watching us dash all the way past Chakra without giving her the time of day. She doesn't deserve that. Chakra's an awesome character. It's just it's funny to me. Alrighty. And we'll skip our mask shard here as well. But it's okay. We'll come back for it. This has a couple other advantages too that I didn't really chat about before, and one of them is tracking. Because I'm doing like min percentage, I don't have to track collecting anything really. Like I will just come back and come on. I'll just come back and like I'll look up a guide of where are all the shards to remind myself, and then I'll just go pick all of them up. Just clean sweep them all in a row, and that'll be kind of nice. And then I'll probably also, like, once I beat GMS, one of the first things I'll get is double jump. And so then, theoretically, I'll be able to grab just about anything in the game anyways. No. Dude, I think Sister Splinter, it's very silly for me to say this, because I think when I first played this game, like... I thought this fight was cool, and I think I did beat it, and like, this might have been a fight, oh shoot, this might have been a fight I beat on my first try, but, so, now that I say that, I feel like it sounds like I said this because it was easy, I don't think this was my favorite fight at the, oh my goodness, I don't think it was my favorite fight at the time, dude, I'm like, this single enemy is wrecking me. Okay. Dude, I gotta get health back. Sorry. I was focusing up. Honestly, I probably still should. Oh wow. What I was trying to say, why can I not hit those for the life of me right now? Holy crap! I missed every single Silk Spear that fight. Oh man, that's frustrating. Yikes. Anyways, Now I'm clamming up. I'm choking. Holy. I'm sorry. I forgot my train of thought. Where I was going with that. Oh, just that the sisters. this game does not want me to talk. This game wants me to shut my mouth right now. Just that the Sister Splinter fight is, I think, actually, in retrospect, I think it's one of the fights that holds up the best when you are playing as, like, someone who is now skilled at the game. Like, I think I would go so far as to say it's, like, my favorite Act 1 fight. I don't know. I think it's just, it feels like a very fair fight. And also, I just think it has so many interesting things going for it. I love the vines do truly feel, you know, constricting and worrying, even though they're never actually going to trap you, because she gives you plenty of time to break them after she summons them. And so you're never actually going to be under threat by the vines. But it does, like, feel like it adds to the atmosphere. And then, like, the spinner guys, I mean, you saw that they did threaten me. Like, they are a tough enemy. And one that you can, like, they feel like they're the perfect difficulty for me in that fight. Because you can get rid of them quickly. But, you know, you have to be a little aggressive to do that. Like, I think they're only, like, what, 3 hits? But also, they do float away from you, but not significantly so to where it's hard to hit them. You just, like, have to be aggressive as you chase them. And it's just, like, to me, it's a perfect balance. And then Sister Splinters attacks herself. Like, she doesn't drop anything on you or have, like, any delayed attacks. Like, she's very open about what she's doing. I don't know. To me, it's just a recipe for success. Basically, I like the fight a lot. Alright, speaking of fights I like a lot. Okay, I've done this a good number of times, consistently not talking. We'll see how I do here. I might have to go silent at times, just a heads up. Already a great sign. I haven't even started talking yet. I haven't even started talking yet, man. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm doing so bad. This is just like not a Silksong day for me, I guess. This is phase 1. It's okay. It's okay. We defy fate. Fate says I'm unable to do this fight now. And to fate I say, screw off. Alright, we are focusing a little bit more though as a result. I do think it's really cool how she, like, disappears within the blast of bells hitting the ground. I always thought that was really sick. Ba-bum! Oh, so satisfying. Oh, she does that every single time, and I get hit by it every single time. Okay, wait, hold on. Hold on. Shoot, shoot! Okay. Yep. Ugh. That was painful. That was painful. Alright, you know, I have more time to play Silksong, but I mean, that was really rough. Right? Like, oh, whoops. I did. I don't know. I might call it there. I'm, like, kind of shocked at how poorly I was doing. I'm gonna go do something else, I think. And yeah, I know normally I say when I die I like to do a little bit so I can get back to the fun part. But I have splits now, so I'm kind of excited about splits. And it's not the day for me for it, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe next one I'll also try like a silent one, see how far I can get. But I really don't want this to just be like a silent playthrough. I'll have to think about it. But I think I am gonna head off for that. So thanks for joining, and sorry